Hi everyone, welcome to the End Times Research Ministry. Today is July the 1st, 2013. So let's get right into it. I'm sorry that the video can't be a lot more than what it is, but due to medical issues right now, I'm limited to the amount of videos that I can make. So let's see what's going on. First of all, we got to connect the dots between what Jesus warned us. In Isaiah chapter 19, we see the warning of what was going to happen to Egypt in the last days. We've been seeing this. It's been going on for 2 years. There was a lapse when Morsi became the president of the leader of Egypt. The Muslim Brotherhood took over, and last year or over, now it's over a year ago, that I put up on my site before Morsi was elected. I told you what was going to happen in the future, and everything that I saw happening in relation to the Bible about Egypt has happened. But there's a wrench that's been thrown in here, and there's a possibility that the evil one, the ruler in Egypt, may be yet to come, and I'll explain. Look what Isaiah says. It says, "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it, and it will set Egyptians against the Egyptians," which is going on right now again. "And they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." Matthew 24:7 also talks about the kingdom against kingdom. In other words, individual nations fighting against themselves, like we've been seeing in Syria and also in Egypt. So let me go and show you what is going on in Egypt now. I'll bring this up for you. This is July 1st, the new news. Protests grow against Morsi amid military challenge. It says, appearing to throw in enormous weight behind the protesters demanding the ouster of President Mohamed Morsi, the Egyptian military told the country's leaders Monday that they have 48 hours to meet the demands of the people, or it will step in to restore order after days of chaos. So what I wanted to show you is, if Morsi isn't that person prophesied to be this evil ruler, is he yet to come? Well, I believe that we're going to know soon. Because if Morsi is that ruler that was supposed to be coming at a time that the kingdom against kingdom in Egypt would be fighting against themselves, then Morsi would hold on to power, and he would become this tyrant that we see in Isaiah chapter 19. So let's go on to say what the article has to say to us. It says, in a statement carried nationwide on the radio and television, the military called the ultimatum a final change to shoulder the burden of the historic moment in their country. The protesters in Cairo's Tahrir Square, listening on the radio and cell phones, cheered as the statement was read, and clearly energized crowd, growing larger by the hour, cheered military helicopters passing overhead, some of them trailing Egyptian flags. The military said it wants no direct role in national politics. Well, if the evil one is supposed to come, this leader, again from Isaiah chapter 19, then it probably, the odds against a military man coming would be very low, because if a military man was going to step up, he would then control, like this evil leader that is prophesied in Isaiah chapter 19. So again, it could be Morsi, and it still might not be, depending on what happens. It says, rather, the military appeared to be pressuring Morsi to restructure his government by reducing the influence of the Muslim Brotherhood in his cabinet, and to call early presidential and primary elections. A source close to high-placed members of Egypt's leadership told CNN. So what had happened is the Egyptians wanted more of a democratic government. Muslim Brotherhood under Morsi was installed. And since Morsi got installed, he has set up this Sharia law and he's bringing in more of the Muslim brotherhoods into the government. Exactly what I said was going to happen over a year ago. And now the people who wanted a moderate government, they're seeing what's happening, and they're retaliating against what they believe to be the same thing as Mubarak was doing under the control. So obviously there's going to be some big actions going on between either the military or Morsi, or the military against Morsi. It says demonstrators say that they have collected 17 million signatures, roughly 4 million more than what won Morsi the presidency, calling for Morsi to go. So the opposition is made up of various groups of loose coalitions, and not all anti-Morsi protesters agree with the roadmap that the Tamarad campaign is advocating. Now, some are loyal to the ousted Mubarak government, while others want army to intervene. So whatever is going to happen, we know that it's not going to be good. We've already seen a number of people that were killed, and there's a lot of people wounded. You see 780 were wounded Sunday and Monday during the unrest in Egypt. So we see Matthew chapter 24, kingdom against kingdom, come into fruition. And also, obviously, we're seeing again, another major birth pang of the Isaiah chapter 19 prophecy. And as I said, it probably won't be long before we see what's going to happen in that government. So now, again, let me just go right back to my site for a second and remind everybody that just found my YouTube channel. Please go to my prophecy site, www.the End Times Research Ministry, as you see up here. And once you're there, you can just scroll down like I'm doing here and click on the book. It's the June 30th. This was yesterday, the newest edition. And what I did for the newest edition yesterday, you may have seen it, you may not have, but I've been keeping tabs since 2009 of all the birds, the fish, and the animals dying. And there was a lot of news that I didn't post or put in my book, and I did both. I posted some of that yesterday, and I also included that into my book. So it's up to date, ready for you to read, free, as you see right here. It'll come to you free. It'll only take a matter of 30 seconds to download it or so. So God bless everyone. I'm praying that my connections between the Lord's warning are taken to heart, and you would receive what the Lord is showing us in these last days and grab on to the salvation of the Lord Jesus, because He is coming back, and all these signs show us that it should be fairly soon. God bless.